Are you going to talk about M80? No, I'm not. I think it was their tournament to lose, and they lost it. But I think that's an unfair way of putting it, because those other teams, I mean, All Knights and 2G looked cracked. They were so impressive. So impressive. Silence is ridiculous. Zap played amazingly in the grand final. Spike's too young, so I don't know what exactly they're going to do to replace him. But yeah, very, very good team. It would have been smooth if M80 had ascended, because they invested a huge amount of money. They would have seen the payoff for their investment. They would have been happy. The players would have been happy. And the Brazilian and LATAM teams that are already in the league would have been able to actually find some like good upcoming talent from those Ascension teams. Now you've got a weird situation where 2G might actually not be a large enough organization to be able to pay to relocate to LA. So they might have to partner or take on VC or something. I don't know how they'd find VC in this kind of climate. So even if they wanted to sell to somebody who could do that, I don't think Riot would let them sell the Ascension spot. I don't know. It's super bizarre. It's super bizarre. Yeah. In some way, last year we were all talking about what happens when a free agent team ascends. And that's complicated because the guard can just demand enormous amounts of money for salaries. So I think it's a bit of a non-issue, though. The real issue is, does 2G have enough capital to be able to ascend, relocate to LA, and invest in their team? Like, get a good replacement for Spike and actually have a chance of putting their team in a good place to be able to make playoffs so that they can make the most of ascending. Because otherwise, they might end up being too small of an organization. And I haven't done a lot of research into 2G. I don't know how small they are. I might be way off in this estimation. But when you have a scenario like this, those are the kind of concerns I think that are more relevant rather than just like, is the region going to be good? It's just more talent in there. It's going to be fine. Even Furia struggled massively when they were chosen. He expects it'll be even harder for 2G. Yeah. I mean, I think that is the real concern. I don't even know how you fix that kind of concern. Let's view this from Riot's perspective, okay? So let's just hypothetical universe, 2G can't actually afford to relocate. Or maybe even don't want to relocate because the amount of money they'd have to spend to relocate versus only a year's involvement. Maybe they just think, listen, end of the day, I don't think this would actually work for us. Like, it's a cool opportunity, but I don't think we're best placed to be able to work off this. Okay, so they decide they can't do it. What do you do in a scenario like that? Do you try to allow 2G to sell to another team? And if so, how do you allow that to also sync up with Riot's decision to not let the team sell their spots? Because they are just selling a VCT spot at that point. If you can decline to ascend and then be economically compensated for that, then that is the equivalent of selling a spot. Now, maybe you wouldn't get the full value of the spot or something. Maybe Riot would force you to, I don't know. It's such a weird thing.